Rain hammered against the windows of Blackwood Hotel, a forgotten building standing alone at the edge of a forest. Most people avoided the place, not because it was old, not because it was isolated, but because of room 17. For 20 years, guests had reported strange noises from that room. Whispering voices, footsteps at night, shadows moving behind the curtains. Management always blamed the weather. The locals knew better. Ethan Carter didn't believe in ghost stories. As a freelance journalist, he had spent years exposing fake hauntings and internet myths. When he heard about Blackwood Hotel, he saw an opportunity. A perfect article. One night in the haunted room. That's all. He arrived just before sunset. The receptionist, an elderly woman with pale eyes, handed him a brass key. Room 17, she said quietly. Ethan smiled. Don't worry. Ghosts don't scare me. The woman didn't smile back. They should. The room was surprisingly normal. A bed, a wardrobe, a desk, an old mirror hanging on the wall. Nothing unusual. Ethan unpacked his camera and laptop. At 9 p.m., he began recording. Day 1, he said into the camera. Currently in the infamous room 17. No ghosts so far. He laughed. Outside, thunder rolled across the sky. At exactly 10:17 p.m., something happened. A soft knock. 3 taps. Knock. 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 Ethan looked at the door. Nobody was there. He checked the hallway. Empty. The long corridor stretched in both directions. Silent. He returned to the room. Moments later. Knock. 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 This time it came from inside the room. Ethan froze. Slowly, he looked around. Nothing. The sound had vanished. Around midnight, he reviewed his camera footage. The recording showed him sitting at the desk. Then something strange appeared. A shadow. A human-shaped figure standing behind him. Only for a second. Then gone. Ethan replayed the clip 5 times. The figure remained. A dark silhouette. Tall. Motionless. Watching him. His confidence began to crack. At 1 a.m., he tried sleeping. That was when he heard the whisper. A faint voice. Barely audible. Coming from somewhere near the mirror. Ethan. His eyes snapped open. The room was dark. The whisper came again. Ethan. His blood turned cold. Nobody should know he was here. Nobody. Slowly, he reached for his flashlight. The beam illuminated the mirror. Nothing unusual. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was standing inside it. Watching. Waiting. At 2 a.m., the temperature dropped suddenly. His breath became visible. The room felt like a freezer. Then came the sound. A child laughing. Soft. Distant. Echoing through the walls. Ethan rushed into the hallway. Empty. The laughter continued. Closer now. Almost behind him. He turned. Nothing. Then he noticed something strange. The hallway seemed longer than before. Much longer. The exit sign at the end appeared impossibly far away. As if the corridor itself had stretched. His heart pounded. He ran back into room 17 and slammed the door. At 3 a.m., he decided to leave. Enough was enough. He grabbed his bags, opened the door, and froze. The hallway was gone. Beyond the doorway stood a completely different room. A dark room, filled with old furniture covered in dust. Ethan stared in disbelief. This wasn't possible. He stepped back, closed the door, opened it again. The hallway had returned. His hands trembled. Something was terribly wrong. At 3:17 a.m., the mirror cracked. Without warning. A sharp sound split the silence. A jagged line spread across the glass. Then another. And another. Until the entire surface looked like a spider web. The room became silent. Too silent. Then every crack began leaking darkness. Not liquid. Darkness itself. Like black smoke. It spilled onto the floor and gathered into a shape. A human shape. Tall. Thin. Impossible. The figure slowly rose. Its face had no eyes. No nose. No mouth. Only smooth, pale skin. Yet somehow Ethan felt it staring directly at him. The creature took one step forward. Ethan ran. He bolted out of the room and sprinted down the corridor. Behind him came slow footsteps. Steady, unhurried, as though the thing already knew he couldn't escape. Ethan reached the staircase. The door wouldn't open. He slammed against it. Nothing. The footsteps continued. Closer, closer, closer. Then he saw another door. Room 17. Impossible. He was on a different floor. Yet there it was. Room 17. The same brass number. The same wooden door. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Slowly, Ethan turned around. The corridor was empty. The creature had vanished. A whisper echoed beside his ear. "You should not have come." Ethan screamed. The door behind him opened by itself. A cold hand touched his shoulder. Everything went black. The next morning, hotel staff found room 17 empty. Ethan's camera remained on the desk. His laptop sat open. His bags were untouched. But Ethan Carter was gone. No signs of struggle. No fingerprints. Nothing. Only a single video file remained. The police watched it dozens of times. In the recording, Ethan sits alone in the room. At exactly 3:17 a.m., he looks toward the mirror. His face turns white with terror. Then he disappears. Not walks away. Not runs. Disappears. As though erased from reality. The case was never solved. Blackwood Hotel eventually closed. The building still stands deep within the forest. Abandoned. Rotting. Silent. Yet locals claim that on stormy nights, a faint light can still be seen from a second-floor window. Room 17. And if you stand outside long enough, you might hear a voice whispering from the darkness. A terrified voice. Begging for help. A voice that sounds exactly like Ethan Carter.